local newspaper. Anonymous unknown killer is still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the anonymous killer is still on the rise. With little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells the story. "I had a bad dream and woke up in the middle of the night," says the boy. "I saw that for some reason the window was open. Even thought I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little rays of light illuminating from between my curtains, there was a pair of 2 eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, anonymous eyes. They were bordered in black, and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said a simple phrase, but in only a way a madman could say it. He said, 'Go to sleep.' I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished it off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. They drove into the parking lot. The man toward the window and ran toward the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing toward the back of my house was broken. I looked out to see him vanishing into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face, those cold evil eyes, and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. Police are still on the lookout for this man. If you see anyone that fits this description, please contact your local police department. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new apartment. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Louie couldn't complain, though. A better house, what's not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself, and to introduce my son." She turned around and calls her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter and my 2 sons, Jeff and Louie." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday party. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mom said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family were done packing, Jeff went up to him. "Mom, why would you do that? Why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid." "Jeff," his mother said, "we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now, we're going to that party, and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on the bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. Dismissed it as just some random feeling. Peter's mom called him down to get some of his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and get ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time, it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. Him and Louie finished breakfast, and they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, when all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. "Hey, what the hell?" The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it. The kid seemed to be 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. Well, well, well. It looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly 2 kids appeared. One super skinny and the other huge. Well, well. It looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly 2 kids appeared. One super skinny and the other huge. Well, since you're near here, I'd like to introduce yourself. Over there's Keith. Jeff and Louie looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that, since you're near here, I'd like to introduce yourself. Over there's Keith. Jeff and Louie looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looks like he had a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looks like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small prize for the bus fare, if you catch my drift. Louie stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes, when one of the friends pulled a knife on him. Tis, tis, tis. I hoped you would have been more cooperative, but it looks like we're gonna have to do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Louie and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly stronger, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Louie gestured for him to sit down. Jeff ignored it and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give my bro's wallet back, or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his knife. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid's nose and Randy reached for his face. Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed, and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground, screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach, and Troy went down. As he fell down, he puked all over. Louie could do nothing but look amazing at Jeff. Jeff, how'd you? That was all he said. They saw the bus coming, and they knew they would be blamed for the whole thing, so they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Louie made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Louie just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was, the urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt the strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked how his day was, and he said it was in somewhat anonymous voice. It was a wonderful day. The next morning he heard a knock at the door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door. His mother looked back at him with an angry look. Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, that it wasn't a regular fight, and they were stabbed. Stabbed, son! Jeff's gaze fell to the floor and showed his mother that it was true. Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on us, me and Lou. Son, said one of the cops, we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 had bruises on his stomach, and we have witness proving you fled the taxi. Now, what does that tell us? Jeff knew that it was no use. He could say him and Louise were attacked, but then there was no proof. It was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Louise. Son, call your brother down. Jeff couldn't do it. since it was him who beat up all the kids. Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Louis tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cops looked at his partner. They both nodded. Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie. Wait, said Louis. They looked up at Louis holding a knife. The officer pulled their guns and looked at them. It was me. I beat those little punks. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted his sleeve to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Louis held the knife up and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over the cops. No, Louis, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face. Huh, poor Bo, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. The police led Louis out to the patrol car. Louis, tell it was me. Tell them I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put his on his shoulder. Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it was Louis. You can stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speed up. Louis inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something had happened. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, his mother walked his dad inside to break the bad news to him. As Jeff wept in the driveway, after an hour or so, Jeff walked back in the house. He and his parents were both in shock and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they felt Louis when it was his fault. He just went to sleep trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by. There was no word from Louis at JDC. No friends to hang out with. Nothing but sadness and guilt. That is, until Saturday when Jeff is woken up by his mother with a happy, sunshine face. Jeff, it's the day, she said, as she opened the curtains and let the light flood into his room. What's today? Said Jeff as he stares awake. Why, it's Billy's party. He was now fully awake. Mom, you're joking. You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after there was a pause. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get herself ready. He followed himself to get dressed. He picked some random shirt and a pair of jeans and walked down. He saw his mother and father dressed up, his mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they be wearing such fancy clothes? It's a kid's party. Son, is that all you're wearing? Said Jeff. Better than wearing too much. He said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. Now, Jeff, you may be overdressed, but that's how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father, and went back up to his room. I don't have fancy clothes, he yelled down the stairs. Just pick something out, his mother yelled. He looked in his closet for what they would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for a special occasion and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked through and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which would go with the dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. You're wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at her like, oh, no. Time to change. Let's just go, she said, as she heard Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara's and Billy's house. He knocked on the door, and it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. The kids are out in the yard. Jeff, how about you go and meet some of them? Said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to the yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly, a kid came back up to him and held up a gun and a toy gun and a hat. Hey, wanna play? He said. No, kid. I'm too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with a weird puppy doll face. "Please," said the kid. "Fine," said Jeff. He put on the hat and started pretending to shoot the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started actually having fun. It might not be super cool, but it was the first time he'd done something that took his mind off Louie. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise. A weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboard. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped it off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with burning hatred. "Hello, Jeff, is it?" he said. "We have some unfinished business." Jeff saw his bruised nose. "I think we're even. I bet I beat the crap out of you and you got my brother sent to JDC. Randy got an angry look. "Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today." As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell on the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ear and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith pulled out their guns for the kids. "No one interrupt, or guts will fly," they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed him in the shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to the ground. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabbed his foot and twisted it. It caused Randy to fall on the ground. Jeff stood up and walked toward the back door. Troy grabbed him. "Need some help?" He picked Jeff up by the shoulder, by the back of his collar, and threw him through the patio door. As Jeff tried to stand up, he is kicked to the ground and repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts coughing up blood. "Come on, Jeff, fight me!" He picks up Jeff and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka and smashes it on the counter. And smashes the glass over Jeff's head. "Fight!" He throws Jeff back into the living room. "Come on, Jeff, look at me." Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. "I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot away for a whole year? You should be ashamed." Jeff starts to get it. "Oh, finally, you stand and fight." Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt in a while. "Finally, he's up," said Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All ration, thinking it's gone. All he can do is kill. He grabbed Randy and pile drives him into the ground. He gets on top of him, punches him straight into the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. Randy grasps for air. Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch. Blood gashes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Although they easily break from the gaze and point their guns at Jeff, Jeff sees the gun trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith falling from behind him, and they keep behind him. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs a towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Troy slings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings a towel rack. He drops his knife and grabs Jeff by the neck, pushing him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burns both of them. They both start screaming. Jeff wiped his eyes as best he could. He pulled back the towel and swung it. He said, as he lay there bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. "What's so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. "What's funny?" he said, "is you're covered in bleaching alcohol." Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact, the flame ignited the alcohol in the vodka, which the alcohol burned him. The bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol made him into a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everyone started screaming, and they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, drop to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and other crying parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. When Jeff woke up, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder, stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but realized there were tubes in his arm, and he tried to get up. It fell out, and the nurse rushed in. "I don't think you can get out of bed just yet," she said, as she put him back in the bed, reinserting the tubes. Jeff sat there, no vision, no idea of his surroundings. Finally, after an hour, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer. His face was covered. He was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news for you. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let Louie go." This made Jeff almost bolt up. Stop halfway, remembering the tubes coming out of his arm. "He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be together again." Jeff's mother hugged Jeff and said her goodbye. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then they came the days when the bandages were to be removed. His families were all there to see what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seat. They waited until the last bandage holding together the cover over his face was almost removed. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. He quickly pulled the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screamed at the sight of his face. Louie and Jeff's dad stared awestruck at his face. What happened to my face?" Jeff said. He rushed out of the bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw a couple of distress. His face, it's horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. He slowly put his hand to his face. "It's sort of leathery feel to it now." He looked back to his family in the mirror. "Jeff," said Lou, "it's not that bad." "Not that bad," said Jeff. "It's perfect." His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hands were twitching. Jeff, are you okay?" "Okay, I've never been happier. Ha 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 ha! Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me." He couldn't stop laughing. Strokes of his face feeling it. Looking in the mirror, what caused this? Well, you may recall when Jeff had fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine that his parents didn't know of. "Doctor," said Jeff's mom, "is my son all right, you know?" And the head, "Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken a very large amount of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back and we'll give him some psychological tests." "Oh, thank you, doctor." Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. "Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go." Jeff looked away from the mirror. His face still formed into a smile. "Okay, Mommy, ha 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 ha." His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. "This is what came in," said the desk lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see black pants and a white hoodie her son wore. They were clean of blood and now stitched together. Jeff's mom led him to his room and made him put on his clothes. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke up to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked inside, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff taken a large knife and carved a smile into his cheek. "Jeff, what are you doing?" asked his mother. Jeff looked at his mother. "I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever." Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black. "Jeff, your eyes!" His eyes were seemingly never closing. "I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face." Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing her son was going to say, "What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?" "Yes, son," she said. "Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face." She ran in the bedroom and shook Jeff's dad from sleep. "Honey, get the gun. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. "Mommy, you lied." That was the last thing you heard as Jeff rushed them with a knife, getting them both. His brother Louie woke up, startled from the noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Louie. Louie fast here and there, trying to escape Jeff. "Shh," Jeff said. "Go to sleep."